Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Don't tear gas us! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Don't tear gas us! Don't tear gas us! Do not tear gas us! Let's go to Beggar.
The Free Nnamdi Kanu now protest is dividing too, because a lot of things have happened recently. Now, this was a protest led by Omoyele to help free Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader of the IPOP group, Indigenous People of Biafra. So Nnamdi Kanu was arrested for making remarks, but he's been arrested and being charged with treason charges. Now, the protest was led by Omoyele activists. Started in the morning. Now in the morning, they claimed that the police sprayed tear gas on them. As a result, they rather waited and conveyed in other places to still continue the protest.
Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Don't tear gas us! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Don't tear gas us! Don't tear gas us! Don't tear gas us! Do not tear gas us! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Let's go to Beggar.
In the afternoon, the protests got very huge in Abuja, with huge numbers of people coming out to protest for the Free Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria, Abuja.
Free Nnamdi Kanu! A holy man! Cannot imagine that in 2025, under a democratic government, I will be tear gas for participating in peaceful protests.
How does this make you feel? You have been on the street for these police officers.
Yes.
Who have been complaining.
No, I don't fight so that people will appreciate me. I fight because my conscience tells me I'm doing what is right. You understand? Okay. Even as I'm speaking with you, the lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu is being pushed into the cell. His younger brother is being pushed to the cell, and we are warning the new commissioner of police, because I heard he was brought purposely to Nnamdi Kanu now. Free Nnamdi Kanu!
Omoyele spoke against police brutality and the fact that the police are spraying them with tear gas.
It's one of the darkest days in the history of Nigeria. NSAS protest 2020. It's 5 years today. So we are going to take a minute silence to recognize the heroes who were killed at the Lekki toll gate for NSAS. Can you take a minute silence? Silence!
Can we put
Silence, please!
Take off your caps! Can we put? Let's have fun.
May their souls continue to pursue their oppressors. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. is not a tribal issue. It is not a religious issue. It is not a sentimental issue. It's a social justice issue for us. We are not here as Igbos or Yorubas or Hausas. In fact, if you look around very well, there are a lot of Igbos, there are a lot of Hausas and Yorubas. All united to ensure that our brother is brought back home. That they should end the sham trial that is going on at the Federal High Court. If they don't do that, they will get more. And they know that a lot of Nigerians are sitting with anger. It's not about Nnamdi Kanu alone. There's hunger, there's starvation in this country. There's political oppression. There's a lot of corruption going on under the Tinubu. So very soon, this crowd you see might be bigger than that of Nepal. Let the people be moving. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. Free Nnamdi Kanu now. Free Nnamdi Kanu now.
But the police had earlier on issued a court order preventing people from gathering or anybody from protesting that day. According to them, this is against the peace of Nigeria.
The Nigerian police force has warned that it will deal decisively with any person or group that uses protests over the continued detention of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu as a cover to incite violence, carry offensive weapons, vandalize property, or engage in acts capable of causing loss of life or injury. According to the Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Benjamin Hundeyi, who issued the warning in Abuja, offenders will be arrested, investigated, and prosecuted under relevant laws, such as those on public order, violence conduct, and terrorism, where applicable. He further cautioned individuals or groups planning demonstrations to stay clear of Aso Rock Villa and its environment, citing an existing court order restricting protests in those areas. According to CSP Hundeyi, the Federal High Court Abuja, in a suit between the Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Omoyele, Sowore, and 4 others on October 17, restrained any form of protest within and around the presidential villa and adjoining areas. The Force PRO adds that all intending protesters and counter-protest groups are strongly advised to avoid restricted areas and desist from any acts capable of provoking confrontation or disturbing public peace.
But despite this, the group went on to protest. But prior to the protest, a group by name Northern People of Nigeria also held a press conference asking the government to stop the protest.
Still on the planned protest for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, a civil society organization, the Northern Coalition Group, NCG, has urged the federal government not to yield to pressure from protesters demanding the release of the IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu, warning against any attempt to circumvent the law. While speaking at the news conference in Abuja, the group's national coordinator, Comrade Jamilu Charanchi, said the ongoing agitation led by certain civil society activists was a deliberate attempt to intimidate the judiciary and destabilize the nation's fragile peace.
It is morally reprehensible and politically irresponsible that some individuals who claim to be Democrats are openly advocating for the release of a man whose violent secessionist agenda has claimed over 1,200 innocent lives, including more than 400 security personnel, banned over 100 police stations, and caused the destruction of property worth over 450 billion across the southeast. CNG warns that no amount of street protest or emotional manipulation will erase these atrocities or compel the Nigerian state to compromise the rule of law. The coalition of northern groups therefore condemns unequivocally the planned protest for Kanu's release, describing them as reckless, provocative, and a direct affront to Nigerian sovereignty and judiciary. 2. Urge the federal government to see Kanu's trial to its logical conclusion, ensuring that justice is neither delayed nor diluted under political pressure. 3. Call on security agencies to remain alert and proactive in preventing any breakdown of law and order during this orchestrated protest. demands an immediate investigation into individuals and organizations funding, coordinating, or promoting these destabilizing protests under the guise of human rights advocacy.
But the leader of the protests, Omoyele Sowore, also held a press conference giving a strong warning to the new police commissioner that if he dares touch anybody, she was going to be worse. And that he even revealed that Nnamdi Kanu has committed no offense because the High Court in Nigeria has acquitted and discharged him.
Mr. Nnamdi Kanu's detention is not just illegal, it's a national disgrace. The government is disobeying its own courts and mocking the Nigerian constitution, the 1999 constitution that they subscribe to. Here is the truth, and what they don't want you to know is that the Court of Appeal cleared Mr. Kanu in 2022 and discharged and acquitted him. That's the final. Yet the DSS, even upon this discharge and acquittal, never released him even for a second in disobedience of the Court of Appeal position. It was pure contempt, and it has always been their tradition to defy the rule of law that they claim they subscribe to. The Supreme Court, of course, did take over the case erroneously. They overstepped. It is a twisted justice reversing a decision that has already been taken by a court of competent jurisdiction like the Court of Appeal on this particular matter. But even at that, the Supreme Court did say that Mr. Kanu never violated his bail condition. It was the Nigerian army that caused the confusion. And you know that double jeopardy is also a crime. Nobody under the law should be tried for an offense for which they've been discharged and acquitted. It's known as double jeopardy. I may not be a lawyer, but I know this well enough. Also, let us let you know that the law under which Mr. Kanu has been tried is known as the Terrorism Act of 2013, which is dead and buried. You cannot try anybody under a law that does not exist. So we want to let you know that this fight is bigger than one person. It's about every Nigerian right to justice, dignity, and freedom. And when the state tramples on one man's right, it endangers all of us. Our demand, therefore, is very clear. Obey the law, enforce the acquittal, release Mr. Nnamdi Kanu now.
Now, the protest escalated to the extent that the police sprayed an Arise TV journalist who was interviewing people who were protesting.
Okay, as you can hear behind me, shooting has commenced again because they see a group of people gathered in this place. So, this is the situation we find ourselves right now. This is the situation we find ourselves, and
and even scaring people. People sustain injuries. Some have to take something.
So how does it affect your business as right now?
Everybody has started doing so. Everybody's shutting off his business and moving through their various rooms.
Are you part of the protest?
We are not protesting. We are in our daily business. The government will just have to know what to do. They have just scared people away, scared. Then the government are not even sure. Then the government are being all right, thank you so much. What's your name?
Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! Free Nnamdi Kanu now! How do we want? Free Nnamdi Kanu now! What are we saying? Free Nnamdi Kanu now! What do we want? Free Nnamdi Kanu now! What are we saying?
So expectedly, predictably, the Nigerian police fired tear gas and some reports say live ammunition.
And these were some news publications about the protests in Abuja.
And occupied major roads here in Abuja to stop peaceful demonstrations called to protest against the continued detention for more than 7 years of the separatist leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who's on trial facing terrorism charges. In the Abuja city centre, heavily armed police, supported by soldiers in a massive show of force, patrolled with water cannon and armoured trucks, firing volleys of tear gas wherever they saw protesters trying to gather. Mr. Kanu leads the banned Indigenous People of Biafra movement, or IPOB, a group that advocates for the secession of southeast Nigeria. Mr. Kanu's supporters say his detention in the last decade.
But finally, it was done and dusted. So after watching all of these, what do you make of the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest? Do you think the government was fair, especially the police in Nigeria? Do you think they were fair to the protesters, or you think the protesters didn't respect the rule of law? Leave your comment in the comment section.
Nnamdi Kanu now! Nnamdi Kanu now! Nnamdi Kanu now!
Case and the growing movement calling for his release. The situation right now is creating serious attention across the country, as many eyes are focused on the tension surrounding Nnamdi Kanu's case and the growing movement calling for his release. People are talking, emotions are rising, and different groups are preparing for what may unfold.